Imagine rewriting the story of us. For decades, textbooks told a straightforward tale, sprang from Africa and spread out, meeting few other peoples along the way. But what if the real story is more tangled, older, richer, more mysterious? In the last few years, startling discoveries in DNA and archaeology have begun to question everything we thought we knew. Where we really come from, and what secrets have we missed? Conventional wisdom holds that modern humans left Africa about 60 to 70,000 years ago and dispersed rapidly across Eurasia. Yet new genomic analysis paints a different picture. Scientists have found that those pioneering bands of hunter-gatherers didn't instantly fan out. They on the so-called Persian Plateau, spanning today's Iran, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia, for thousands of years. In that ecological hub, a few thousand people thrived on savannas and forests, before slowly continuing into Asia and Europe, around 45,000 years ago. In other words, modern humans may have lingered in the Middle East, brewing cultural innovations like cave art, before moving on. Earlier small migrations out of Africa apparently fizzled out as dead ends. This finding turns the old map on its head. Our ancestors took their time, setting up a cradle between continents before the Great Diaspora. Our ancestors didn't roam alone. They met and mated with other human species. Every non-African today carries about 1 to 4% Neanderthal DNA, a genetic legacy of those Ice Age encounters in Europe and Western Asia. East Asians and Oceanians also carry Denisovan genes from a mysterious Siberian lineage. But the surprises don't end there. In Siberia's Altai Mountains, home of the Denisovans, scientists even found a 13-year-old girl whose mother was Denisovan and father was Neanderthal, proof that these groups freely interbred. And new genomic scans reveal lineages we've never seen in fossils. For example, genomes from West African groups show 2 to 19% coming from a previously unknown archaic African population. In short, human family trees have many hidden branches. At least one unknown ancient ghost lineage mixed into modern Africans, possibly diverging from other humans 360,000 to 1 million years ago. Anthropologists now admit there is much more than we thought to learn about our ancestors, a reminder that new discoveries could rewrite chapters of prehistory. The genome is full of surprises that challenge migration myths. In the Pacific, Easter Island's giant moai statues stand as sentinels of an ancient crossing. DNA studies found that around AD 1200 Polynesians met and mixed with Native Americans. Surprisingly, this contact wasn't on the nearest island but far out in the Marquesas first, then finally reached Rapa Nui, or Easter Island, later. In the Amazon, geneticists unearthed an even older puzzle. Certain Amazonian tribes carry a tiny but detectable signal of Australasian ancestry, genetic variants common in indigenous Australia and Melanesia, but virtually unseen elsewhere in the Americas. The leading theory is that these hunter-gatherers picked up those genetic traces somewhere near the Bering Strait over 15,000 years ago and carried them deep into South America, traces that survive to this day in the Pacific coast and Amazon populations. A 2023 genome analysis of over 800 people shows conclusive evidence of prehistoric contact between Polynesians and South Americans around AD 1200. Hundreds of indigenous Amazonians share a genetic signature, the Y signal, with Aboriginal Australians and Melanesians, a mystery of a very ancient voyage. It turns out migrations went both ways. Ancient DNA from Siberia and the Far East reveals that some Native American lineages later returned across the Bering Land Bridge. For example, 500-year-old bones in Kamchatka had Native American ancestry, and modern Kamchatkans have even more, implying back migrations from America to Asia about 5,000 years ago. Such round-trip journeys crisscrossed Beringia multiple times in prehistory. Each of these links, Pacific sailing to Chile, Amazon tribes with Pacific DNA, reverse migrations, forces us to redraw the arrows on the human migration map. Instead of a simple branching tree, our history is a network of journeys. DNA isn't the only evidence. Digging into the earth uncovers human stories once thought impossible. Consider these vanished worlds. In the 1990s, archaeologists unearthed a megalithic temple from about 11,000 years ago at Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, built by Stone Age hunter-gatherers who had no pottery or metal. Massive T-shaped pillars carved with lions, vultures and foxes form circles at Göbekli Tepe, predating Stonehenge by 6,000 years. It shows complex ritual life at the dawn of agriculture. Far to the west, Peru's coastal civilization of Caral flourished about 4,500 to 5,000 years ago. This sacred city features 6 pyramids, plazas, and staircases. Radiocarbon dates show Caral's monuments are as old as Egypt's first pyramids. In the rugged Andes desert, the Caral Soup Complex reveals one of the oldest cities in the Americas. Long before rice paddies and emperors, the Jomon people built a 10,000-year hunter-gatherer culture across Japan. They made some of the world's earliest pottery from 14,500 years ago and lived in isolation until new waves of migrants arrived around 3,000 years ago. Ancient genomes confirm that modern Japanese carry Jomon ancestry, linked even to body traits in studies, a legacy of those Ice Age islanders. In the rainforests of Brazil and Bolivia, satellite LiDAR and clearing for ranching have revealed hundreds of massive earthworks, perfect circles, octagons, and squares up to 12 meters deep. These geometrical trenches, built around 2,000 years ago, form mounds and causeways spanning thousands of square miles. They were not random holes, but ceremonial plazas, showing the Amazon was home to sophisticated land-managing societies, not untouched wilderness. Off the coast of Okinawa lie sculpted sandstone steps and terraces some claim are a sunken city. Geologist Masaki Kimura argues Yonaguni's formations were quarried and sculpted by people about 5,000 years ago with carved faces and pillars. Skeptics see natural bedding planes in the rock, but the debate itself reminds us that ancient coastlines, now submerged, once hosted human civilizations. Each forgotten site rewrites a bit of history. Together with DNA, they make it clear human ingenuity and culture arose in many places, much earlier than we imagined. Today, scientists combine genetics, archaeology, and ancestral memory to tell a unified tale. A powerful example comes from the American Southwest. Researchers worked with the Picurus Pueblo community to compare millennia-old and modern genomes. The result confirmed what Picurus oral history long held, cultural continuity stretching back at least 1,000 years. This collaboration brings together oral tradition, archaeology, ethnography, and genetics, blending modern DNA technology with age-old stories. Around the world, similar efforts are underway. Traditional songs, tribal legends, and ancient sites are being matched with genetic lineages. These combined lines of evidence reinforce one message: our past is a shared tapestry. The threads of human history, woven by genes, artifacts, and voices, reach farther across oceans and millennia than we once believed. In light of these discoveries, human history looks far more interconnected and enigmatic. Our ancestors mingled and moved in unimagined ways. They built temples and cities we hadn't known about. They kept memories in myths now echoed by science. As one researcher put it, genomic studies have opened a window showing us that there is much more than we thought to learn about our ancestors. Indeed, the ghost populations, hidden migrations, and forgotten civilizations remind us that the story of is still unfolding. What we're finding is that human roots are older, deeper, and woven across continents. A global family portrait with many surprises yet to be revealed. Please subscribe, like, and share this video to join us on this incredible journey through time.